Hello everybody, it's Lucas Mackintosh here and I'm back with some more Batman Returns for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out one of my retro Let's Play videos, I really appreciate it. If you are indeed enjoying my content and would like to see more, then why not hit that subscribe button, because what it means for you lovely people is you will be instantly subscribed to my channel and notified every time I upload a new video, and I've got new content coming each and every single week. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch one of my videos, I really appreciate it, and thank you to all my recent subscribers, comments and views as well. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a different set of videos. Again, this is commentary done over gameplay I recorded last night. Basically I had to beat the Penguin and it was very difficult trying to do commentary whilst trying to beat him. He's very spammy. So what I kind of thought I'd do was I'd cobble together some of my failures as well as my winning run sort of towards the end. Just basically so you guys can see how difficult he is and the struggle it took to actually beat him. But even though I don't get the good ending, I actually beat him with my energy that I had before, whereas last time I did this I used a password to have 2 bars of energy or 2 boxes, but this time around towards the end I'm using the original password and stuff, so that was kind of my main motivation. I wasn't bothered about the ending, I wanted to beat him with the energy that I'd earned. You know, I didn't want to have any kind of extra energy bars. I wanted to beat him with skill. But I do have quite a few near misses. And I thought, you know what, it's so kind of... I thought it was so entertaining. I thought, you know what, let's make, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 videos of my runs. So you can see how far I get to actually beating him. So I hope you guys don't get bored. But essentially... I found it rather hypnotising, like playing the game, trying to beat the Penguin, and I tell you, I actually beat him. It took me about 3 or 4 hours to beat him. I had to keep putting in the same password over and over, because basically if you continue on this game, it gives you more energy after a while, so it does kind of help you out that way, but I want to beat him with the energy that I originally had. It's just the way this game works. Also, it's kind of like it's one of those games you got to beat in one shot. Otherwise, you won't get the best ending or something like that. It's, you know, I don't know if it's possible if I will ever get the best ending, because to do that, I have to play almost perfectly. But you know what? I beat the Penguin, so that to me is my goal achieved. So I've completed this game proper legit this time round. So as you can see, we're on Arctic World. Now this level looks difficult at first, but this is kind of what I've kind of developed, this little strategy here for some of the enemies. It can be quite overwhelming. I will probably get my butt handed to me a few times by the enemies before I get to the Penguin, but I like to think that you're going to see my progress actually get better each time, so with each attempt. So as I said, I hope you guys don't get bored. I have to take care of these fat clowns now, and that's what I love about this game. It really is the most frustrating, difficult thing ever. I mean, literally, I tell you, again, it was 12 o'clock last night. I was basically falling asleep and I just wanted to beat the Penguin before I fell asleep. I was so determined to actually get him. And yeah, it took me a long time, but what you're going to see is you're going to see a series of battles with the Penguin, and you will see firstly how close I get, how difficult he is, his attacks, and then sort of towards the end, which will be in about almost an hour. I know guys, but it's kind of, I wanted to do something a bit more entertaining, you know, rather than just see me. I mean, I could just do that video of me just beat the Penguin. Yeah, I could do that, but you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to show the struggle. That's my main intention, and you know, I hope you find it interesting, because I just want to show you guys also that it is possible to do this. You know, a lot of people have said that this game's impossible. Then again, some people say it's too easy. Personally, I would say it's kind of medium to hard. I wouldn't say it's the hardest game, but a lot of the enemies do have a lot of spammy attacks, like these skeletons on motorcycles. They can come at different velocities and sort of different... Their patterns keep changing every time, so they're very hard to predict sometimes. Sometimes they'll be calm like this, other times they they'll be a little bit more animated, they'll go on one wheel, their speeds vary, and I can't always kind of gauge how fast they're going to come or when they're going to come for me, so I kind of have to play it by ear a lot of the time. But as I said, for those reviews who say this game is unfair, I would say it's challenging. This level, at least, as you can see, does give you a heart pickup as well. It gives you, I think, 2 or 3 chances to refill your health. Anyway, as I said, for every 10,000 points you get, your health goes up, or you get an extra box, depending on your health. Your health increases anyway, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, a lot of these enemies are very spammy, and also it's very important that you develop your strategy with these enemies, because these women in particular with knives will wipe you out. You've got devils coming up later on, they can wipe you out, so I'm going to show you some strategies. As you can see, I'm using my death move, which basically wipes out the enemy's energy quite quickly, but it also damages Batman. That's something you kind of want to use sparingly at the beginning. You know, and make sure that you connect, because if you don't connect with the shot, then you end up losing energy and it will be a waste. So as I was playing this, I was kind of sequencing the enemies. I break them down into enemy types, how I'm going to deal with them. These ladies, I basically just let them come to me. I let them do the little flips, and then I knock them down essentially. Right, moving on forward now. These are the devils. I always use the batarangs on them. You don't want to let them linger, as the Cranberries once sang, because if you do that, they will literally breathe fire at you, or they're very tough anyway. There's more devils after these ladies as well. So actually this section seems quite overwhelming, but once you've done it enough times, it actually feels quite short. Once you develop the strategies necessary to get rid of all the clowns and stuff. So this is like the last wave of Red Triangle Circus Gang enemies. So yeah, it's quite a fun level. I actually had fun doing this, even though I was frustrated. I mean, trust me, I did turn the air blue a few times, and that's why I could not do live commentary with this, because I was, you know how you get when you're playing a game and you can almost feel it and you're so focused and that's all you want to do for that period of time. Well, that's kind of what that's where I was getting with this game, essentially. I can't get my words out today. Yes, these are the last of the devils. Again, I like to use the batarangs on them, but as you can see, I got wiped out straight away. So, you know, not too bad. That wasn't bad. That's like, I almost got to the penguin that time, but I was quite surprised, because I kind of thought, oh, you know, I'll see how far I can get. I honestly didn't think that I could get back to the penguin. You know, it sounds, in hindsight, it sounds a bit kind of strange to say that, but as I said last time, I used passwords off the internet. I didn't use my own, and obviously I was given more health than I needed, and I was able to slip through. But this time I wanted to do it kind of legit. I felt last time, even though I did it, I didn't do it, you know, using my own passwords or using my own skill, but this time I have, so I feel a bit better about it now. So I will be reviewing this game next, as well as Batman Returns to the Sega Master System, so I've just got to film some footage for that. And I've decided I'm going to make my reviews a little bit shorter. I mean, my reviews tend to be quite long, so I'm just going to shorten them a little bit, mainly because I want to get quite a lot up on my channel, and there's games that I've never played I want to review, you know, so I just want to vary things a little bit. So yeah, this is the sort of game that's kind of, you learn to be skillful at, you learn all the little tricks and stuff. It's actually a really, really good game, very underrated. A lot of people hate on this game, probably because, you know, they've played a lot of the Sunsoft games and they're probably not used to this sort of style, but it's really good. Konami have put a lot of effort into the cutscenes. The cutscenes are just beautiful, you know, and this is, again, I keep saying this, but it's NES hard. This was back in the day, guys, when you had a game like this, you had to finish it, like, and do your best. You had to learn the game. Not that you don't do that today, but, you know, you got all your downloadable content. There was none of that back in the 90s, in the early 90s. You had a game, like same in the 80s, you had a game, you might find cheats in a magazine or a book, but there was no internet. Well, we didn't have it till much later. You've just got to get on with it, you know, learn the game, play it. If the game was bad, it was tough, because it's like, it's all you had, essentially. So yeah, you just had to kind of get on with it. But yeah, really good game. As frustrated as I am with this game, and I still stand by what I've said, this game isn't unfair at all. It's a game that's challenging, but once you overcome that challenge, the feeling of like satisfaction that you get cannot be bought as far as I'm concerned. I felt like I'd just been walking on the moon. After I'd done this, I was so happy, like, to do it right before I was about to go to sleep. Yeah, because I didn't want to kind of, again, let it linger. But we got these guys on stilts. As I said, my one gripe with this game, and I've said this before, is the enemies. Like, they're not very detailed. They're just sort of generic colours and stuff. So, you know, it's not a problem, but I just feel like they could have made them a bit more detailed. Batman looks fantastic, though. You know, Konami put so much effort into how he looks and stuff. So yeah, awesome game. Very good. And the fact that there's 3 endings that you can kind of achieve. You know, I'm really thinking about making this my sort of the game I want to kind of get better at. Now, I've kind of got to the stage where I'm average to good, but I want to be good to actually better at this game, so I kind of want to learn everything about it and try and do it in one shot one of these days. I think the bosses I have problems with, the only bosses I have problems with are the organ grinder, who, believe it or not, is probably actually harder than I think he's one of the hardest bosses in the game. He's like the second hardest boss you will ever face. And obviously the penguin at the end. The penguin in his duck is really easy. That's one of the easiest friggin' bosses ever, and I actually wiped him out first time. But yeah, you will see when I get to the penguin how spammy he can be, and that's kind of why I wanted to upload like multiple attempts, because I want you guys to know that he was challenging. He is challenging. I would say he's one of the most challenging bosses in NES history. Yeah, a lot of people say he's really easy. He is easy if you can kind of, I don't know, it's like his patterns are random. Like, let me try and break it down for you. So the penguin can shoot you with his gun, right? He can drop down from the sky, he can drop bombs, he can try and stab you with his umbrella. I think he can lunge towards you, so he can do A, B, C, D and E in that order, or he can go from A to C, C to B, B to E, you know, that sort of thing. His patterns change quite quickly, and so you have to kind of hope that you're going to get a really good ending. You know, a good pattern, I mean. Why do I say ending? Oh, I don't know what's wrong with me today. It's because I'm watching this video recommendations come up with some about endings. So yeah, you need a good pattern. That's what this game kind of forces you to think on your feet as well, but that's no bad thing, because it really forces you to want to get good at the game. As you can see, it is all about sort of health conservation as well. So you want to conserve your health as much as you can. But as I said, you get multiple chances with your health, so it's not like it's the most unfair game ever. You know, you do kind of get a fair shake. I think you do anyway. You just got to get good at the game, and once you get good at the game, you know, you start doing a lot better. Here we go, see that? I'm wiping out those devils as quickly as I can. You want to get rid of them. There have been occasions when I've actually knocked out 2 with 1 batarang, and I've actually had 3, so that was quite good. So I learned to actually get better with the batarangs and stuff. So these green ladies, these green clown ladies. See, the funny thing about this game is the enemies, they seem to come in different forms. Like, you get a group of ladies, you won't ever get a mixed batch of enemies, they will always be the same type. It's really weird. And also this game struggles when there's like multiple enemies on screen, more devils. So this is why I saved my batarangs for them, or I tried to anyway. Let's see if I can hit them here. There's one. There you go, see that? I got 10,000 points, so that means my energy gets up. The problem is they spawn another devil here, and the devil's really spammy. They're both really spammy, and sometimes they won't die. It's like they'll just prolong their stay, you know, and they'll rinse your health. They just want to make sure that you don't get to the penguin, or you have very little health. As you can see, their energy bar is just insane. I just don't know how I'm supposed to deal with it. There you go. I just got to try and knock them out as best as I can. There you go. Sometimes it's best just to do that, and then you get your standard. These enemies are so the best enemies in the game. They just walk towards you.